Ladies and gentlemen, a couple of y'all been sending me this video. I got a lot of it on Twitter, and people told me to react to Legal Eagle, YouTube's resident legal advisor. Go to YouTube channel. He just did a victory. I'm assuming it's going to be on the Drake lawsuits, and it's called How to Lose a Rap Battle. Legal Eagle, let's go. And by the way, this is fair use. Because I'm reacting to, I'm going to be stopping the pause, just making sure, because, you know, you're a lawyer. I don't know how you feel about me. Maybe you're going to try to...
rappers. They're just like us. They settle disputes the way we
all do.
Hey,
you're a YouTuber, too, you know, so I'm just being funny.
Rappers. They're just like us. They settle disputes the way we all do. And while, since this is America, you might assume that's by murdering your contemporary with a gun, it's actually by filing dubious lawsuits. I'm looking at you, Drake.
Look, today was an obstacle course, okay? And I brought my A game.
Now with the song Not Like...
Oh, the Legal Eagle got jokes. Legal Eagle got jokes. If you're not subscribed to the Legal Eagle page, I'm sure he don't need my help. I'm a little lonely. Go check him out. You know what I mean? And by the way, my whacked out Murals DJ Academics response is I think at 200,000 views right now. The link gonna be in the pinned comment. We getting that to 1 million. Make that viral. And it's streaming everywhere. So yeah.
Like us, Kendrick Lamar seemed to have struck the knockout blow in his long-running feud with Drake.
Seemed to.
The diss track reads Drake for filth, accusing him of being a pedophile.
Certified lover boy, certified pedophile.
Hooking up with Lil Wayne's girlfriend when Wayne was in prison.
Sorry for pausing so much. I'm not going to be pausing a bunch throughout this. This is a 20-minute video, so I just got to say. Technically, Legal Eagle, we'll talk about this later, but the reason why I wanted to react to Legal, because a lot of people have talked about these lawsuits and have no idea how law works. This is I'm pretty sure, practicing board officiated or certified lawyer. So
fuck no Wayne girl, he was in jail.
He's the person we should be listening
when
to.
He's really just a rich kid.
Future when you didn't see the clue. Little baby help you
get your lingo up. Hey,
21, get your first street cred.
The song surged to 900 million streams before Drake finally fought back. Instead of diss tracks, Drake filed 2 diss petitions claiming that companies affiliated with Lamar artificially boosted the popularity of Not Like Us with bots and Payola. And he accused his own music label, Universal Music, of defaming his character by promoting...
That's where I lost the respect. The first one, I looked at him like but I guess if you want to sue UMG for... It's still lame, and it's still just you being a sore loser. The defamation one where I went... Oh, you trying to change the rules in hip hop. You just mad, so you on your way out, you trying to unplug everybody's controller and break the TV screen so nobody else can play. I see what this is.
Promoting the song. And news of Drake's legal filing sparked a, quote, massive 440% increase in the song's sales and a 20% rise in streams.
Cha-ching!
And with all due respect to Mike Masnick, maybe it's time we retire the Streisand effect and just call it the Drake effect. The Aubrey effect.
Yeah, Drake! Drake!
And this also means that Lamar is so good, he goaded
Eagle.
Drake into filing legal diss tracks that are making Kendrick millions of dollars. And there's a lesson here, and it's this.
And if I've learned anything this year, it's that none of us, not a single one of us, not even me, should ever pick a fight with Kendrick Lamar.
Hit the move, Serena. Y'all gotta remember on Drake's op list, I'm right between Serena Williams and Schoolboy Q, so I love me Serena. I love me some Serena. No Serena slander. Yeah, she from Compton, ain't she? Yeah. You know she from the soil, nigga. Huh? And Serena built like this. Serena built like she could put me in a figure 4. And I can't do nothing about it, nigga. So no Serena slander. I'm pretty sure Serena will slam dunk Drake if they ever got... She'll squabble up on Drake. Come on. I'm from here with it.
He will make your hometown not like you. The next time Drake sits courtside at a Raptors game, they're gonna Forrest Gump him. Sight's taken.
This is true, and that's why Legal Eagle is Team Kato.
Woo!
So we know Kendrick got the upper hand rhetorically, but does Drake have leverage in a court of law?
This is what we've been
there
trying
are
to
several
see.
things that could eventually become lawsuits here. The first is Drake versus UMG and iHeartMedia, and I can't believe that Drake is forcing me to take the side of UMG.
I love that he made this video. There are so many armchair lawyers and stuff who are talking about this who have no idea what they're talking about. And this man, he Bruce Lee with the law. So y'all got it, yeah. He know a little something.
Like Lamar blasted Drake as a, quote, certified pedophile and someone whose name should be, quote, registered.
One thing I will say, though, Legal Eagle, is technically You know, and I would love to have some sort of dialogue. I doubt I could. I don't know if I could. I would love to. But, you know, I was on Google's commercial, so maybe. He technically didn't call Drake a certified pedophile. He said Baca got a weird case while he's still around. Certified Lover Boy, Drake's album, and certified pedophile. A certified lover boy is next to a certified. So maybe if Baca was filing this, you'd still be lame, and Drake is still lame for this. But hey, I think there's a legal precedent where it's like, did he call you one?
And placed on Neighborhood Watch. At issue are the statements,
Say Drake,
I hear you like I'm young.
You better not ever go to cell block.
That's admissible, you know.
Boy, certified pedophile.
He do like him young. That's provable. We see the females he's talked to, the songs he's make. You like him a little young. We know that.
Why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you,
You tired?
Trying to strike a chord.
But it probably
A minor.
now these are
that ain't nothing but a chord. If I'm in court, hey, we ain't snitching. That ain't nothing but a progression and a chord and a note, nigga. Huh?
references to allegations that Drake has had relationships with underage women. Drake, of course, denies those allegations.
I'm way too famous for this.
And he didn't say underage, he said young. Drake, the only time he said Drake and then an accusation, I heard you like him young, not underage.
Shit you just suggested. Drake is not a name that you gon' see on no sex offender list.
And when people heard the song, they quickly picked up on the accusations and wondered whether Drake would sue Kendrick Lamar for defamation. But Drake hasn't so far sued Lamar. Instead, he filed a pre-suit discovery petition against iHeartMedia and United Music Group, accusing those companies of knowingly damaging Drake's reputation by releasing the song. The petition was filed in Texas, where iHeartMedia is headquartered and where Drake is domiciled. In Texas, Rule 202 of the Texas Rule of Civil Procedure allows a person to request permission from a court to take depositions before a lawsuit is formally filed.
And like people know, these aren't lawsuits. These are he's explaining that these are pre-dispositions or whatever.
Now, the purpose of this kind of petition is to determine whether there are grounds to file a lawsuit and who the proper parties might be.
They shake in the tree and see if something falls.
After the lawsuit has already been filed, but there are limited circumstances when you can request discovery before filing the lawsuit itself. And according to this petition, UMG approved the release of Not Like Us, despite knowing that its lyrics, cover art, and music video besmirched Drake's character. Quote, before it approved the release of the song, UMG knew that the song itself, as well as the accompanying album art and music video, attacked the character of another one of UMG's most prominent artists, Drake, by falsely accusing him.
This first sentence, God, I hope Legal Eagle really digs into this. The first sentence is so hypocritical. Before it approved the release of the song, UMG knew that the song itself, as well as its accompanying album art and music video, attacked the character of one of UMG's most prominent artists. So is Kendrick. And they allowed you to drop your Kendrick disses, bro. God, I don't know how anybody looks at this and acts like this was a good thing and not just a nigga throwing a tantrum.
Of being a sex offender, engaging in pedophilic acts, harboring sex offenders, and committing other criminal sexual acts. Drake argues that UMG had the ability to prevent his reputation from being damaged. Quote, pursuant to its rights under various contracts, UMG has exclusive control over the licensing of Not Like Us and could have refused to release or distribute the song or require the offending material.
They didn't refuse yours!
And or removed, but UMG chose to do the opposite. UMG designed, financed, and then executed a plan to turn Not Like Us into a viral mega hit with the intent of using the spectacle of harm to Drake and his businesses,
the point
to drive
of a record
consumer
label,
hysteria,
nigga.
and of course, massive revenues. That plan succeeded, likely.
How dare you took this song that had the potential to be a big song and made it meet its potential? How dare you as a record label make this song blow up? How dare? And then what is a viral mega hit? That is a vague term. Because Drake, all your songs got millions of views too. If I dropped a song that had the same amount of views that The Heart Part 6 has, that would be a viral mega hit for me. So what the hell are you talking about? Like,
beyond UMG's wildest expectations. And it appears this conspiracy goes so deep that Drake himself is on it, because by filing this petition, he's driving tons and tons of more listens to the song that he hates so much.
Yeah,
there were tons of headlines about this case saying that Drake sued Universal Music for defamation, but that's not true. The petition only mentions defamation once in paragraph 17, where it says that Drake might have enough facts to file certain tortious claims against.
So wait, I thought there was two petitions. I thought the second one was defamation. Are you telling me that there is not two petitions? Hold on.
Defendants, including but not limited to defamation. That's not the fiery response to pedophilia allegations that some hip-hop fans expected from Drake, especially since Not Like Us wasn't the first time Lamar called Drake a pedophile. On May 4th, Lamar released Meet the Grahams, a scathing critique of Drake and his parents, Sandy and Dennis Graham. He says Drake's company employs sex offenders who keep him on monthly allowance.
He got sex offenders on OVO that he keep on a monthly allowance.
Lamar also
On Hovey, Kendrick might have been a genius and covered all his bases. Illegally, he must have known, like, nah, this the type of nigga that's gonna run to the feds, bro. He's the type of nigga that's gonna cook I'm gonna cook him so bad, he gonna try to get a RICO. We might just get hit with a RICO. McMillie.
Address Drake's son Adonis.
Dear Adonis.
Even in art,
I forgot
those
how
are
dirty the
serious
song
claims.
was.
But Drake has not so far sued over any of them, at least not yet. In part because Kendrick Lamar has good First Amendment defenses. He has the right to express an honest opinion about Drake as a public figure, as long as that opinion is not intentionally spurious and malicious. And if you've watched this channel before, then you probably know that when someone makes offensive comments about a public figure, the public figure can only sue if they can prove the statements were made with actual malice. And in this context,
Legal
actual malice
eagle
means that the statement was made with knowledge.
Let the legal eagle cook. Let him cook. Let him cook. All them Rorys and they don't understand law, my nigga. They don't If you're listening to Rory and Maul or DJ Academics over legal precedent, over the legal eagle, just say you a OV ho. Just say that. Just say that. Chef. Yeah, and any person who is a fan of hip hop, fan of battle rap, fan of the competition of hip hop, should be rallying against this like nobody's business. You see how the First Amendment was brought up? Or was it freedom of speech? It was brought up. You see that? That's what's being attacked here. So Rory, when you have those questions, I don't understand why everybody's all of a sudden on the record label side, because the other side is fighting freedom of speech. Because exposing that niggas have been using bots like they've been using for years for Drake too is not gonna have the same damage or gonna be the gotcha moment you think it is as the legal precedent that this might do for the First Amendment in hip hop. That's why anybody who's not even a fan of hip hop, fan of freedom of speech, should be against this. All the other we're suing to see the bots, whatever, that's goofy shit. The speaking of the defamation, it don't matter who you are. You should be against that. Facts. Just because the record label is a record label, they're not always the evil villain. Trust me. Usually they are.
Knowledge of its falsity or with reckless
I'm never
disregard
going
of the
against
truth.
somebody
and this
suing
is a much
somebody
higher standard
for a
than
diss
for
track.
private
I'm not.
individual and
Sorry.
requires evidence that the
Sorry.
defendant acted with intentional or extreme disregard for the accuracy.
I'm sorry, Legal Eagle. I gotta go. I gotta say another thing too. I'm sorry. Another narrative that people keep saying that is stupid is they say, well, if UMG purposely botted Not Like Us and made it more successful, then it was to hurt Drake's negotiations. Think about what you just said. Think about what you just said. So Drake had two options when Like That dropped. Respond or don't respond. Right? Drake knew he had negotiations coming up, didn't he? Okay, so what happens if he wins this battle? Oh, his stock goes up. He the big bad, he the boogeyman. He just slayed Kendrick Lamar. So now he can go to the table and be like, on top of everything I just did, and I just cooked that boy, and my song's going crazy, these diss tracks, what's good? If he would have dropped a Not Like Us. Or he could have not engaged and been like, well, I have negotiations coming up soon, and if I lose this is going to hurt my negotiations. But guess what he did? He gambled. Just like Kendrick said, he got a gambling problem. And he lost. It's not you. So it wouldn't be UMG's fault. It wouldn't be UMG's fault. My nigga, all you had to do was listen to Not Like That and go, all right, I got negotiations in about 6 months. 6 months later, I'm going to re-spark this up and we're going to do this, but we're going to wait. But he didn't wait. So how is it UMG's fault? Even if UMG was looking for something to tank his stats. You gave it to him by engaging in the battle. You should not have gambled, my G. I don't feel sorry for you that you gambled and you lost, my nigga. I'm sorry.
It's particularly
you
hard
took
if
the
your
gamble
opinion
and
is
you
based
lost,
on
nigga.
revealed public facts. Now, we talked about this at length in the video about Cardi B's defamation lawsuit against the YouTuber Tasha. In over 30 YouTube videos, Tasha K falsely claimed that Cardi B was a prostitute, used drugs, and had contracted sexually transmitted diseases. A jury found that these were false allegations that caused significant harm to Cardi B's reputation and emotional well-being. The jury found that Tasha acted with actual malice. They awarded Cardi B over $4 million in damages. So if Drake sues Lamar, he'd have to prove that Lamar knew that Drake was not a sex offender or made defamatory statements with a reckless disregard.
And that's what I said in one of my other videos. Defamation is one of the hardest things to prove. It's one of the hardest things to prove. Like, Drake is just spiraling. For everybody who thought this was like 3D chess, listen to Legal Eagle, he cooking.
Regard for the truth.
He cooking.
But this case is not directly analogous to Cardi B's defamation case because Lamar offered his commentary about Drake in the context of a song. Song lyrics often feature metaphor, hyperbole, and creative expression, which courts generally don't interpret.
Man, Rory, I hope you watch this video, this Legal Eagle video. How to lose a rap battle. I hope you, because you was one of the people, and I don't call Rory, because Maul is a nasty ugly hoe. Rory is not, but he is so dead wrong about his position on these lawsuits that I hope he actually watches this nigga. You see how he's talking about freedom of speech and defamation cases? You notice how that, okay, just making sure.
As factual statements in defamation cases. For example, in
2005, he's here to save the industry.
Ruled that rap lyrics performed by George Clinton did not defame record producer Armin Biladian. Clinton referred to Biladian as,
he's a disgrace to the species. Into his face with some feces.
Judge Alan E. Morris, writing for a three-judge panel, said, quote, "There was no specific allegation such as an act of child abuse that could be proven. For instance, the statement that Armin is a disgrace to the species represents the kind of puerile taunt that, for better or worse, is typical of rap music." The court said, quote, "Even speech that is crude, what the court calls rhetorical hyperbole, vigorous epithet, and loose figurative or hyperbolic language merits protection." The court also dismissed...
And I'm so sorry, anytime you get to the... And Rory, again, you see, that would be a time that you would be on the artist side with this, because the label or the manager was trying to sue him. You don't come for freedom of speech in music. You just don't. In art, you just don't. You just don't. And by the way, someone getting mad at an Andrew Schultz joke and saying people shouldn't go support him anymore is not attacking his freedom of speech. This trying to set a legal precedent in a court of law about things that were said on a song is 100% attempting to attack someone's freedom of speech.
Claims against retailer Meyer, the court ruled that Meyer, as a distributor of the album, could not have had prior knowledge of the allegedly defamatory content. If distributors were held liable, this could discourage the free exchange of ideas, thereby chilling protected speech. So is Drake's potential defamation claim more like Cardi's or like Clinton's? Well, Lamar could argue that his comments about Drake were never intended to be factual, that both he and Lamar have created fictional personas, and that the person referred to in the song is a character. He could also state that he was making exaggerated comments about Drake.
Come on, Legal Eagle, UMG need to go ahead and hire you. I'm just letting you know, UMG got an army of these niggas. Just understand that. So, yeah, you know?
In order to win a rap beef, and he could argue
that Drake I want Drake to be humiliated in court with this defamation shit. I want him to be humiliated.
Suffer any damages because the hip-hop fans are well aware of how rappers use hyperbole. But in response, Drake could argue that his case is more like Cardi B's because Lamar made specific allegations about Drake having sexual relationship with minors, and these allegations hurt his reputation.
But
everyone is talking about these claims, and the more people who listen to the song, the more widespread the belief that Drake is interested in underage girls. Now, obviously, if you're going to torture your tough guy rap persona and file a dubious lawsuit, you'll want a good lawyer. Probably one that tells you not to file that pre-lawsuit petition. But if you want a great lawyer, my law firm, the Eagle Team, can help. If you've got...
And I'm going to leave his ad in there. And I usually skip the ads. Nah, man. I'm going to lead illegal just in case one of y'all needs some help.
A car crash, suffered
a
data breach,
in there.
Especially if you've got a data breach letter saying that your information
my
might have been
bird. Hey, yo, my bird. Oh.
Or dealing with a workers' comp or social security issue.
Freaky ass Legal
Eagle. Find you the right attorney who can. It's so important to talk to a lawyer right away so you can maximize your recovery. And by the way, we don't get paid unless you do, and there's nothing up front.
I'm not getting paid for this.
Description or call the phone number on screen for a free consultation with my team.
I might need you later in life.
You need the Eagle Team.
I'll never know what's going on.
But it's unlikely a court would hold UMG responsible for distributing and promoting the track. In the Clinton case, the court did not hold Meyer responsible for selling the album because, quote, the complaint makes no claim that Meyer had any familiarity with the lyrics prior to disturbing the album containing them, but instead premises liability upon the act of distribution to an internet audience. This is not enough. To hold otherwise would be to...
Yeah, that is another thing. Why, if Drake is suing, that would have to mean that you think the UMG is listening? Like, niggas... they could just make an argument like, we don't be listening to what these niggas say like that, nigga. That's why bad lyrics get out and we have to pull them back. Just like the Lil Wayne beat like Emmett Till. You know what I mean? That clearly wasn't a good one. Rick Ross, Molly and the Champagne, and those are UMG artists. So, I mean, Wayne is for sure. I don't know what Ross is. So,
impose a duty.
And there's a lot of other lyrics we can go through where it's like, that's what I'm saying. Drake is trying to set a precedent where I'm like, bro, y'all can't be fans of art and want this to go. Y'all can hate Kendrick. Y'all can hate whatever. Y'all can be the biggest OVO hoe. This, if Drake wants to keep doing music after this, hurts Drake too. So
retailers of books and music to screen those products for potential defamatory material. Not only would that burden be onerous, it could potentially have a chilling effect upon
has said some things
because
in
retailers,
songs,
in an abundance of caution, might stop.
Serena Williams, your husband's a groupie, like plenty of things where people might start going, oh, okay,
selling some categories
maybe that should come for you,
such as rap music, to avoid liability. But Drake would counter that, unlike Meyer, UMG knew the content of the track that it distributed and arguably helped produce it. However, UMG represents both artists, and both artists knowingly engaged in a years-long rap battle.
Exactly.
And that opens up the possibility of using consent as a defense. And there's yet another wrinkle here. In Lamar's song 616...
There's consent because Drake literally asked Kendrick to drop.
In LA, he claimed to have a mole inside of Drake's management company. He said the mole was spilling the tea about all of Drake's dirty little secrets, and Drake responded by saying that he worked with the mole and, quote, we plotted for a week and fed you the information about Drake's allegedly secret daughter. So Drake says the supposed mole was more like a double agent. If this is the case, and there is evidence that Drake fed Lamar lies, that would cut against the claim that Lamar knowingly spread malicious lies.
You see what I'm saying? He has no case.
Now, payola is the practice of secretly paying or offering incentives to broadcasters, music platforms, and other intermediaries to promote specific songs, artists, or content without disclosing the arrangement to the audience. The term comes from combining pay and Victrola, a brand of early record players, and the term became widely recognized in the 50s and 60s during the radio era when record labels would pay radio DJs to play certain songs more frequently. Now, arguably, there's nothing at common law that would prevent paying someone to play a song, but these days, payola is illegal. Under 47 USC 317, the law states, all matter broadcast by any radio station for which any money, service, or other valuable consideration is directly or indirectly paid.
Bring that good legal precedent up.
Charged or accepted by the station so broadcasting from any person shall at the time the same is so broadcast be announced as paid for or furnished as the case may be by such person. And under 47 USC 508, it's illegal for a broadcaster to knowingly air paid content without disclosing the sponsorship or payment arrangement. And the disclosure has to be made at the time of the broadcast. This rule applies to individuals involved in the creation, production, or distribution of broadcast content, including employees and agents of the broadcaster. And payola is arguably bad because it misleads the public into thinking that an artist is popular through merit, word of mouth, when in fact a label is paying to promote that artist. And it hurts musicians who aren't signed.
Which, I mean, everybody. That's every nigga signed, by the way. If you no, money is helping you think a lot of this stuff is better than it is. Trust me. That goes for movies. That goes for music. That goes for food, nigga, for real. A lot of shit, that goes for clothes. How much times have you seen niggas wearing shit that's clearly not fly because it's expensive? That's what it is, nigga. Or because other famous people wore it that they paid to wear it.
Labels because they don't have the resources to promote that work. And in the modern streaming era, payola has taken on new forms like paying streaming platforms, playlist curators, or influencers to artificially boost streams, likes, or placements in popular playlists. And that's why the Federal Trade Commission regulates influencer marketing. In February of 2020, the FTC released guidance stating that, quote, when companies launder advertising by paying an influencer to pretend that their endorsement or review is untainted by a financial relationship, this is illegal payola. And in his other petition against UMG, which we'll get to in a minute, Drake alleges that there is a conspiracy by UMG and possible third parties to use payola to boost Not Like Us. He says, quote, petitioner has learned of at least one UMG employee making payments to an independent radio promoter who has agreed to...
And I really hope that your evidence is more than the nigga that was on Academic's stream. Because Academics himself, after that, came out and said that the streams were real. There's a clip. The clip's still on YouTube, so...
transfer those payments to certain radio stations.
I hope you got more than that, Drake.
These radio stations have...
I really don't hope you got more than that, because I hope you lose both of these, nigga. There ain't nothing hip-hop about this. I don't respect none of this, nigga, so I really hope, but even if you do, it's probably wrong.
Subsequently played Not Like Us, and to petitioners' knowledge, did so without disclosing to their listeners that they had been paid by UMG to do so. Now, Drake says he hasn't been able to, quote, confirm whether any iHeartRadio stations were among the stations paid as part of UMG's pay-to-play scheme, or whether there were any direct payments from UMG to iHeartRadio to promote Not Like Us. But he goes on, quote, given iHeartMedia's status as the #1 audio company in the country, petitioner believes that UMG engaged in similar tactics to drive radio play of Not Like Us.
Oh, nigga, I never even went through this paperwork. So he literally said he's not sure, he just believes because they're the biggest thing they had to have. Yo, the niggas that were jumping out the window trying to defend Drake. I'm telling you, the last bastion of parasocial fans of Drake are the niggas defending this. I've seen some of the biggest Drake D riders be like, yeah, I can't defend this shit, dog. This ain't even hip hop. This is now, I have to love Drake more than I like the music genre in general. So it's like, nigga, what? Could you, if Meek Mill tried to do this after back to back, the same niggas who are pretending that they're defending Drake would be bodying this nigga.
Gus on iHeartMedia station.
I don't care what
Drake
anybody
claims that
says.
a whistleblower backs up his claims. Quote, one whistleblower whose identity is unknown revealed
and it
publicly
better not be the
that
dude from
someone
Axe
from
Stream,
management paid him
which I
thousands of
think it
dollars
is.
on May 6, 2024 to use bots to achieve 30 million streams of Not Like Us on Spotify in the days immediately after its release to turn Not Like Us into a crazy hit. Bots appear to be real social media accounts, but are in fact software programs designed to mimic human behavior. And the petition cites this video from YouTuber Jamisco Dawn.
OVO ones.
with them and their label and their managers. Okay. So there's, you know.
It is the nigga from Academic Stream. Do you know later on Academics came out after this clip and said that the streams were real? I hope Legal Eagle plays that.
No, there's certain people who I would never do that to out of respect. But
this is
the
Drake's
most recent
evidence.
Song I did do all the bots for. Well, most of it and the marketing was Not Like Us.
So the upshot of this petition is that he has enough smoke to think that there's a fire, and he needs the court's permission to get information that would back up his claims. And there's another interesting piece to this potential lawsuit. Drake is signed to Republic Records, which is a subsidiary of UMG. So in this petition, he accuses his own label of radically departing from industry norms to boost his rival. Quote, in order to create incentives for high visibility influencers to spread Not Like Us, in what appears to be a radical departure from long-standing internal policy at UMG, UMG removed copyright restrictions on Not Like Us on YouTube and Twitch, thereby whitelisting the song. So,
all right. Now, I feel like I can speak on this because I was one of those content creators that made the videos about it. Let me tell y'all something. Kendrick Lamar is not the first person who allowed niggas to react to their song without claiming it. Part 2. There's people who got their videos claimed. Part 3. I also got my video claimed later on. I just beat the claim. So a lot of people don't realize what we do is fair use. You just don't know the fair use laws. And really, as long as you're talking, adding commentary, making it different, changing it up, making your own, then you have the right to react to stuff. So I think it's just people not understanding what that is. Especially when afterwards, DJ Academics, which is one of the first times I really started not liking Academics, when he used my tweet to act like and say, oh, they're striking people's Not Like Us videos. So which one is it, bro? Which one is it? Are they whitelisting us or are they striking us? Figure out what narrative you want to go with and then go with that one. But this is not weird. This is not different. Really, even if you got a claim on Drake's. And here's another thing. My Drake reactions are not claimed either. You feel me? So, UMG, if you need screenshots, I can send them to y'all if y'all need them. My Drake ones aren't claimed either. What y'all gonna do when my Drake ones ain't claimed either? What if I told you I got Drake reactions that aren't claimed before this battle? And if it's for hip hop, nigga, I'll send it. You know what I mean? If it's for hip hop, you know what I mean?
So the idea is that YouTubers can use a song without paying a fee, which would boost its reach. Although from my perspective as a YouTuber, it's kind of a stupid idea because If you use copyrighted music, your video often gets demonetized, but that doesn't change the reach of the video itself. Unless a label actively blocks the video that uses the copyrighted music, it'll get exactly the same distribution as it would otherwise.
Facts.
And monetization has no effect on the search and discovery algorithm. So what does Drake want the judge to do? Well, he wants to be able to conduct pre-suit depositions from representatives of UMG and iHeartMedia. And this is...
And I'm telling you right now, I know for a fact that YouTubers got petitions. They're using me and Shaq. I'm telling you that is put in there because of me and Shaq. We are the two... I'm telling you it is. We're the ones who made the videos. Other people did make videos, so they might be using them, but like, come on, bro. Like, come on, gang. That's the whole reason why academics tried to use my specific tweet. Like, come on, go back and look at my tweet about that. Look at how much engagement it has. Go back and look at my video. Like, they're trying to use specifically us.
Typical of civil suits, the plaintiff usually asks the defendants to identify
you using academics, niggas are
relevant
strange.
to the plaintiff's claims.
You're trying to use
those depositions are treated as if the anticipated lawsuit has already been filed, following the same discovery rules applicable to non-party depositions in active cases. And in New York, Drake filed a petition for pre-action discovery against UMG and Spotify.
Shout out to everybody watching this whole
engaged in deceptive practices to artificially inflate the streaming numbers of Not Like Us.
This is
and
an
his filing is not
important
the same as a
video.
lawsuit. Section 31.
Sorry for interrupting again. Legal Eagle, you chef it so much, but this is a very important video. I hope people watch this all the way to the end. And I hope you guys go show Legal Eagle love from my page. Let them know, yo, we came from the Screwface John page. Thank you for breaking this down. An actual lawyer, not just one of these hip-hop faces or people in the hip-hop media who become lawyers when it's time to defend Drake.
2 of the New York civil practice law and rules allow a potential plaintiff to obtain discovery before filing a formal suit, and plaintiffs typically use the pre-discovery filings to preserve critical evidence or assess.
And if he is chefing this up like this, understand that UMG's lawyers are salivating.
The viability.
Ain't no love in the heart of the city, nigga.
Discovery has to file a motion with the trial court in New York. And it's not meant to be a fishing expedition. A potential plaintiff must ask the court's permission, and the court has the discretion to grant or deny the request based on the merits and necessity. And here, Drake claims that UMG used bots and payola schemes to boost Not Like Us, which hurt his career. UMG allegedly offered Spotify reduced licensing fees in exchange for disproportionately promoting Not Like Us. Quote, streaming and licensing is a zero-sum game. Every time a song breaks through, it means another artist does not. UMG's choice to saturate the music market with Not Like Us comes at the expense of other artists like Drake. He says,
Wait a minute. This is in Drake's lawsuit. Streaming and licensing is a zero-sum game. Every time a song breaks through, it means another artist does not. I don't understand how niggas can respect this. So wait a minute, what about all your songs that broke through? So you're admitting that you were hurting other artists? What about Hotline Bling? What about Kiki Do You Love Me? What about God's Plan? Every time a song breaks through, it means another artist doesn't? But it's fine when your songs are breaking through and other artists aren't. But if it comes at the expense of other artists like Drake, dog.
Saturate the music market with Not Like Us comes at the expense of other artists like Drake. He says the company's paid influencers, radio
He's essentially being like, how dare you have a successful song?
stations and others to
only I can have successful songs
without disclosing these payments. And the defendants allegedly use bots to simulate streams, creating the appearance of greater popularity. And Drake says that if he can get the discovery, he can prove the defendants violated the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, which is known as RICO.
He's trying to hit niggas with a RICO gang. The nigga Drake who is on RICO with Meek Mill is engaging in RICO behavior. Nasty work. Nasty work. I don't understand the mental gymnastics of y'all defending Young Thug and saying that RICO was BS and using hip-hop lyrics in court is bad, and then a rapper is attempting to do it. I don't understand the mental gymnastics of how y'all are justifying this. I don't get it. If it's wrong that Atlanta tried to do that, if it's wrong that Fonnie Willis and all them tried to do that with Thug, then it's extra wrong when Drake does it, nigga.
Probably incorrectly.
Those people have no... Fonnie Willis has no commitment to hip-hop.
Civil RICO claim with predicate acts of wire fraud, mail fraud, and or bribery for UMG's payments to unknown third parties in the form of reduced licensing fees to Spotify. But his lawyers need information from defendants to prove it. Quote, specifically, petitioner requires information about the method by which the third parties were paid in order to determine which underlying predicate acts to plead, and requires information about which benefits were conferred upon UMG in
way
exchange
worse than
for
I even
payments.
thought it was, bro.
Additionally, petitioners lack sufficient information to identify the third parties who acted in conspiracy with UMG. And Drake says these practices harm consumers and violate general business law section 349,
now
which
you
prohibits
care about the
deceptive or
consumers.
misleading acts or practices in the conduct of any business, trade, or commerce, or in the furnishing of services in New York. Now, Universal Music told
when you was every face on the Spotify playlist, when you popped up everywhere, when they were, this low-key make me lose more respect for Drake after looking at what's actually said in these petitions.
Told TMZ, quote, the suggestion that UMG would do anything to undermine any of its artists is offensive and untrue. We employ the highest ethical practices, in our marketing and promotional campaigns.
Like,
no amount of contrived or absurd
no, nobody
arguments
believe that.
in this pre-action submission can mask the fact that fans chose the music that they want to hear. So do Drake's claims have any merit? So far, they look pretty tenuous. The petitions admit they don't have enough evidence at the moment to substantiate the legal claims, and Drake would need concrete evidence of intentional manipulation and direct link between the manipulation and damages. But it's also possible this pre-suit discovery might turn up some smoking guns. And alternatively, maybe he has an ulterior motive and he just wants to get out of his contract with UMG.
That's what it.
And for that, I can't blame him. But this kind of pre-suit discovery is pretty rare, so it's unlikely to go too far. So Drake lost the rap battle, made himself look like a wuss, and ultimately probably won't have anything to show for it. Now, whether or not UMG actually whitelisted Kendrick's song or not, dealing with bogus copyright claims is something that all of us creators have to deal with, which makes being a creator really difficult when you're dealing with popular music.
And then also, too, like, Drake is attacking everything. So, UMG whitelisting a song, if you are a YouTuber and you support this lawsuit, you a lame ass nigga too. You a op too, nigga. Because this is what we want. This is what we want as reactors, as creators, as everything. You know how much I've been on YouTube for so long. You know how long that we've been crying and kicking UMG's back in for their false claims and how bad they were claims, and now niggas are supporting if they whitelist the song. I wish they'd whitelist songs. Now we're fighting against that? How dare you? What? And like I said, Drake, I got a lot of songs from you that aren't claimed either, nigga. So what we doing, nigga? Like where I did the same process with Kendrick's song to get it. So what we doing, my nigga?
Like
what we doing?
Music, which
Maybe
is why
niggas
my
don't
friends
know
and I
that.
created today's sponsor, Nebula. On Nebula, you can watch all of our videos ad-free and early because our videos always go up on Nebula first. Plus, there's tons of videos. For example, the Nebula.
Check out Nebula. This video's already going too long. FD signifiers on here.
But as you probably know, that's over. So if you want to support this channel, the only way to ensure that the money you spend on Nebula goes to us directly is to sign up directly. And if you're new here, Nebula includes tons of exclusive videos from me,
Alright, I'll let you do that, but this video already.
And how cool is it that
40 minutes?
$36. And that's a gift that you can give to yourself.
The rest of it's an ad. Shout out to you. I love this video, man. It shine a lot more light to everybody, these armchair lawyers and doing litigation. Watch this video, man. Yeah.